Hi guys, and welcome to our next video. This video is again made in the middle, and now I'm going to show you some of the frameworks that I like to use that are really working well and are really doing their job. So in the previous video you saw how we manually did that, and now it's time to actually use some frameworks that actually keep us easy and doing our work a little bit easier. So to use that framework, you just need to learn how to do it manually and what does it do. So what is the core of main, the middle attacks, what's that ARP packets, what they are used for, and you just need to know that in order to go for automated frameworks. It's the same like with Nessus, and it's the same like with Metasploit. You need to know how the things work in order to use them. And it's always better to do manual checks, manual validations, and just manual actually spoofing ARP requests. So now here we've done that, and now it's time to cast our framework. And one of my favorite framework is called bettercap. If you're running Kali and try to install bettercap, there's a chance you are actually going to get it. That's why you need to be always updated. I want from you to be always updated. Just run apt-get update, apt-get upgrade like every week to update all repositories. But if you're not using Kali, you may encounter troubles with installing bettercap, and that's why you need to actually open a Firefox and download it manually through GitHub, and therefore create shortcut that you can install it, actually run it everywhere in your working directory. So here, bettercap download, and this is gonna actually prompt us with the bettercap login page, which is that one. So it's a GitHub page again, and there are a lot of tutorials, a lot of things how can you install it, but my suggestion is just to follow the instructions. As you can see, we just need to go and first download that file like one in the GitHub page, and therefore go to the bottom and search for the project documentation is here. Okay, so click that. Now here is the every definition, every like tutorial and every information you're gonna need about installing bettercap. You see there is installation module here, so click installation, and now we have even a Docker installation. We are not going to use Docker. We can compile bettercap. So these are the steps of actually installing bettercap. So just go to that page, and there is a basic usage option. So here there is just all the documentations about bettercap, and you can find everything here. So now go here, type bettercap, and now as you can see it immediately finds some devices. Now this is the really strange looking interface, but once you get used to it, it's okay. It's really actually easy and comfortable to use. So here we can type help in order to see our options, and now we have some information here like help module, sleep seconds, quit, basic commands. Now we have the modules we have in bettercap. We have any proxy, we have API REST, we have ARP spoof, the one we did in the previous video manually. We have capets, we have DHCP6 spoof if possible, we have HTTP proxy, we have HTTP server, so we can force any HTTP request to be through us. We can force any HTTPS proxy to be requested through us. We can use MAC changer in order to change our our MAC address, which is temporary, and we're gonna temporarily why that we have different MAC address, so we can make the attack even actually better. Therefore we have net probe, and this is going to send the probe packets to all the network, to all the subnet, and discovering all the hosts. For example, net.probe, and press tab to see how can you run it, how it's supposed to be run, and you can see press tab multiple times, you can see on off, so press on. Okay, so therefore we have net.recon, this is doing quite the same thing. Now we have net sniff, here we are actually going to start and listening on our network after we edited our ARP requests. Therefore we have SynScan, and therefore we have TCP proxy, ticker update, Wi-Fi, we can actually net.show, when we type that net.show, click enter, and we have that pretty decent looking table with IP addresses, MAC addresses, interfaces, names here, vendors, all the package sent and when was sent. So it's actually time to use that framework and try to demonstrate a few things. So here actually go for and try to ARP spoof and press tab. You can see on off, so click on, enter, and now we are spoofing the whole subnet. We are not spoofing just one host, we are spoofing the whole subnet mask, the whole subnet network. So the whole network is thinking right now that we are the router, and if we go to our Windows machine, go here, clear that, and go for like ipconfig, ARP-A, sorry, and here we see that we've successfully spoofed that again. We see that the results are the same, but now here we are actually doing that automatically. You see, just with our spoof on, it just did all the things that we did before, like enabling forward, enabling package request forward, setting ARP request to here, setting ARP request to there. It's doing that all automatically, but now you know what's actually doing and how it's working. And now, for example, if we go here and type net.sniff and press tab again, see on, we have even net.sniff stats option. This is going to get us with a few stats options about the date, about the like what was actually captured, matched packet, local packets. Yeah, so here we are actually starting to capture all packets we have to all the machines that are connected to our network. So for example, if I go here and no, not here, sorry, to my Windows machine and open Firefox or any browser, it really does not matter, and now here just search for something like Skype, for example, go back here, or go to Stack Overflow again, so Stack Overflow, go back here. Now you see that we are going to get some information. So let's scroll down, up, sorry, let's scroll up and see what we can get. So let's say from like here, okay, so a little bit more, okay, so now we can start analyzing and seeing what we can actually get, and here we have quite a lot of information. It's hard to analyze everything, but we have some post requests here which are good. We've seen even the post message. Now we have connect that machine, connect to that URL on that port. So we have the exact same machine. We have the request here, the HTTP request. We have the exact same machine connected to where, on what port. So this is quite useful. We have the IP here, so go to the bottom, and now you see that gateway to that machine is actually using that packet, is sending that packet, is receiving that packet. Now we have actually seen all the packets that are flowing by with different hosts. For example, with if that host is using proxy, we are seeing even that. So for example, here that host is using proxy, it's connecting on HTTP on that proxy. So as you can see, this IP is different than ours here and our local IP. So that host is using the actual proxy, and we can capture the HTTP response from that proxy, and that proxy is actually for that Windows machine. So we know for sure now that that Windows machine is using some kind of a proxy, and we can see all the services that that machine is using through that proxy. We can see all the services that any other machines are using and what they, for example, are downloading, are seeing, are actually accessing, and are responding back. So this is the basic way of how, and see our network monitor, by the way. See the graph. And so here this is the way to actually capture, this is the way to actually analyze and see all the packets. This is the easiest way to become in the middle. As you can see, we just type bettercap, we just type netprop, netshow to see if it's available host there, if there's any available hosts. Therefore just type our spoof on and net.sniff on. As you can see, 4 commands, and if you are not sure and if you are not knowing what you are doing, there is no chance of you understanding whatsoever what is happening. So this is why it's important to know it manually, how to do it manually. And here we have a DNS sniff, we have all the packets, all the responses back to us. So we are man in the middle and we are capturing all the responses there. So this is the Google response, some cloud response here, we have even the proxies one. We can actually sniff and see even the proxies requests. So this is how you become man in the middle using automated frameworks. This is how you can sniff and see all the traffic. And don't forget, with net.sniff off is shutting that down. And with help, in bettercap you can see all the different modules, and therefore you can try and play around with every single one of them. There's documentation for every single one of them, and there is actual way and usage for every single one of them. So depending on your need, you can use, for example, that specific module. For example, we can go for HTTP proxy, HTTP server. We can build up our HTTP own server in bettercap. And depending on your needs, you can use that proxies and you can use that modules. So this is, guys, how you can use automated tools for becoming man in the middle, for scanning and sniffing all the packets. And now in the next video, we're going to actually see what's a cookie, how the web request response is happening, and you're going to see that in a menu deep level, so you can actually understand what's happening whatsoever. So I really appreciate you for watching, and see you in the next video.